And I wouldn't change her diet or anything. I would just
Plain.
just keep it what it is.
Okay.
No new treats or anything like that. Give it a day or two. See if it gets more red. If it gets more red, you should definitely call your vet. Otherwise, if it stays just like that, give it a couple of days. And I feel like if it's gone away, she doesn't look clearly uncomfortable, you should be fine. Because it sounds like it might be that flea and tick. Was it like the 3-month pill or the 1 month?
1 month pill.
Yeah. So then the next time, just make a note of when you give her the pill, check her. Take any pictures beforehand. Give her the pill. Keep the diet simple. And if the next day you notice, like, oh yeah, she's got that redness again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can talk to your vet. I think there's more than one brand now.
Okay.
I think there's like 2 to 3 flea and tick pills.
Yeah.
So they might recommend a different brand.
Yeah. We gave that to her last week, and then her like diarrhea medicine last night, so it could be one of those.
Sure.
Okay, that's good to know.
But in terms of like allergic reaction, it doesn't look bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen.
You've seen it all.
Pretty bad. So I think she looks fine. And if you don't see a change in her behavior, like the biggest thing is always the lethargy.
Oh.
You know, so like when I get a dog that has diarrhea,
yes.
like most people like right away they're like, oh my god. I'm like, I give it 1 to 3 days, and if it doesn't get better over the course of 3 days, because it's usually really bad, and then like the second day it's a little bit better, and by the third day it's better, by the fourth day it's like gone.
Yeah.
If I see that, then the dog's fine, just kind of a stomach bug.
Yeah.
But if it stays consistent, or if it gets worse, or if it doesn't look any better, if there's a lot of blood, or the dog looks lethargic, then I go, you want to go to the vet.
Yeah.
Okay. But I see it commonly that I'm not one to like panic.
Yeah.
But people tend to like freak out, and I'm like, it's up to you if you want to take your dog to the vet. You know, personal preference. But yeah, that didn't look too bad, but I did notice she had those lumps and stuff.
Okay. You good girl.
So we'll go ahead and put her long leash on.
Okay.
And how is she doing?
I think pretty good. I haven't, last time my husband's been out and said that she's been good. Let me see if it has a good connection out here. Oh, Win.
Yeah, did you just cap? Yeah, I can see it. So I see the contraction here. And what's your number currently?
34.
Okay. We'll see how 34 does. I definitely saw the correct contraction there. Okay? It's a good job on actually testing. Yep. It's good. It's really good. So we're... Sorry, question?
Oh, no. I was going to say, what do you want to start with?
We'll start with the review.
Okay.
Just to show like how you've been practicing, what you remember.
Sure.
Checking if we're doing everything correctly or anything incorrectly. And then we'll take it from there for the second half of the recall.
Okay.
Okay?
That works.
Come here, you. Are you getting smart? Come here. Nice try.
She knows, Jesse.
And you're not tapping now, right?
Nope.
Right. So I'll just wait till you give the cue once you're ready.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. Winnie, come. Good girl, Winnie. You're so smart.
We're going to do a couple more.
Okay. Good girl. Come on, Jesse.
I like to like wander around with her.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, call.
Okay. Winnie, come.
You got it. Good.
Yes, good girl. Good girl.
Good. Great.
All right, go ahead.
Perfect.
Am I okay to call her?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Winnie, come.
Good.
Yes, good girl.
And then leave the leash long and go ahead and put her in a heel.
Okay.
You can leave that on the ground. The short leash?
Yep.
Use your long leash.
Oh.
Yeah, so just grab the end of your long leash, the handle. Yeah, 1 second. So go ahead and drop that. Grab your long leash handle. Yeah, that one. And heel.
You?
Yep.
Heel?
Did we cover this last class?
No.
Oh, okay. That's fine. There you go. Go ahead and stop. Good. I must be thinking about the other Winnie. The lab one. Yeah. Because I told you, right? I have 4 Winnies right now. Yeah. So, the recall looked good. Of course, she knows me and she's recognized, oh, this is what we're going to do. That's just kind of being preemptive about it. That's fine. It's normal in the beginning. Which is why practicing like this, of course, is not realistic.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to be holding her for you, waiting for you to call her.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing something, but it's just to get that foundation down. And I just wanted to see that you're doing the everything correctly.
Yeah.
Only thing I would say is when you do your motions back, more pronounced steps to make it very clear, like, you need to return to me. Okay? Otherwise, your speed was good, her response was good. So, you know, with this tool, you get up to off-leash control, right? So obviously recall has to be off-leash reliable, otherwise it's pointless. But that also includes like your heel. Okay, so like right now I said, you know, just leave the 30-foot, use your long leash, leave it completely slack, grab the end of your 30-foot, walk towards me. You said heel, and she'll beside you like if she was on a short leash, right? Because you get heel up to no leash. You just have to practice it, okay? So the methods that I use to train are off-leash methods. So the only thing that changes is the length of your leash that we use to practice, okay? So if that's something you'd like her to be able to do, super simple. Now when you go to train with her to do recall at the park, you can practice your long, what I call long leash heel, okay? And you grab the end of the 30-foot and you say heel, and you can walk around the park, walk to the dogs and all that stuff, using all that as a distraction, and your correction remains the same. If Winnie were to get ahead of you, you would just turn to the right and keep happening until she returns. The only difference is now Winnie can get up to 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay, whereas with the short leash, she would only get 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how what we call proofing. So we have the learning phase, or teaching phase, and we have the proving phase. So once she's learned the concepts, if she's great on your short leash, and you think to yourself, I would never take her off leash, then it's, you know, not going to be applicable to you. But if you're like, well, if all I have to do is just a little bit more work, then you go from the short leash to the long leash, and you practice. When you have space, like obviously we have the space here.
Yeah.
At Travis with all the dogs and stuff, it's a really great distraction.
Yeah.
But you would correct it just the same as you would on the short leash, except now she has up to 30 feet of a stake line where she can just run away, but she can't get away from you because you're holding on the end of it. And you're teaching Winnie how to correct the problem from a 30-foot distance. Okay? And I'll go over a little bit with you today, so just so you get a feel for it. And then you practice enough, then you can walk Winnie with no leash.
Whoa, Winnie.
Okay. So otherwise, any questions on any of that stuff?
No, sounds perfect.
So there's the second half of recall, which we're going to cover today.
Okay.
So if you call Winnie, right, she runs to you. I think your release is go ahead or something like that, right? So once Winnie comes to you, her job is to put her butt down, kind of like the auto sit with the heel.
Yeah.
But I don't care where she is. If she lands at your left, your right, your front, your back, or goes between your legs, I just want her to be within that immediate space and to put that butt down. Okay. Now, if you call Winnie, she arrives, and then you were to move away, what do you think she should do?
Come by you?
Yes, she should follow you. Okay, so it's much like the heel. Come to me and stay with me and sit when we're not moving. Okay. So we're going to add what I call the side step exercise today. That's going to teach Winnie once you've called her, she should stay at your side. But then also, I do this to force confusion, because let's say you move away from her and you tap her, she'll like kind of, a lot of dogs will get confused and they want to run away. Okay, so we do this so that one, if she runs away, we can teach her you're not supposed to, right? You need to always return when you feel that tap. The other thing is, it helps prevent her from running away preemptively. So like, let's say you called her from chasing or playing with a dog and she's at your side. If she's thinking, I need to stay here because mom might move and make sure I follow her, we're preventing her from running back to play again. She should stay with you until you say go ahead. Okay? So, very simple exercise. You're gonna do the recall like normal. Once Winnie arrives, let's say she lands to your right, you'll let her settle, and then you're gonna wait a moment, and then like I might say move backwards. Okay, and you'll take 2 to 3 steps back, and then Winnie should follow. If Winnie doesn't follow, within a second, you want to start that tapping process to get her to move towards you.
Do I say anything or no?
No, this is all built into the command.
Okay.
So she should follow you, and then she should put her butt down. We wait a moment, and then I might say move to your left. So we take side steps, and she should move in. Okay? Now, when we do this exercise, any direction but forward like is okay.
Okay.
So you don't want to go like this if Winnie's here, okay? And you don't, if I say go to the left, you don't want to go like this.
Okay.
Okay? Like that. Okay. Because if you move like this or like this, the forward motion looks like heel.
Gotcha.
So then I don't know if the dog's default heeling or getting the concept of when they call me, I should stick with them. So we move very awkwardly or backwards because she's not going to know how to heel with that. Okay? Questions?
No, that makes sense.
All right. Wait. Go ahead. Quick. So I'm going to take her away.
Okay. There's a squirrel too. I'm like, oh, there's a squirrel.
Let's go ahead and bring her this way, see if she gets distracted.
Winnie, look at the squirrel. Look at the squirrel.
She probably already knows like at Oz it's business.
Yeah.
So she's probably like, nah, I'm not gonna fall for that temptation. Not gonna fall for that.
Look at the squirrel, Winnie. Winnie, come.
Good. Right. Now we're gonna let her settle. Good. Now here, go ahead and start with 2 steps backwards. 1, 2, tap, 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 tap. Wait a moment. Good. And you're gonna try 2 steps to your left. Tap, tap. Good. And you're at 30, what now?
34.
Let's go to 40. We're gonna try that again. Break. Go ahead.
Look at the squirrel. Look at the squirrel.
Go ahead and move forward a little bit so I can try to bring her closer.
Winnie, come.
Right? Good. Good. Try to your left 2 steps. Yep. 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 Right, good. Wait a moment. Let her settle. Good. Now try backwards. Tap. 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 Good. Wait a moment. And praise at a girl.
Yes, that's a good girl. You're so smart, Winnie, girl.
Good. We're just 3 more steps.
You're such a pretty girl. I know you don't like getting shocked.
you arrived, right? But then immediately got distracted. So then you want to get her to settle first. That was good. So now move to your skip right. 2 steps. Tap. Tap. Right. Good. Tap to the auto sit. Good. Take 3 steps backwards. Tap. Good. Way to move. Turn to face her. Tap, tap, tap. Step on your leash. Good. Tap, tap. Keep tapping. Tap. Now backwards. 1, 2, 3. That's good. Hold right there. And praise. Good. So right there, she got confused or she just lost track, right?
Yeah.
So she starts to go off. You turn to face. That was good. Then I step on that leash to keep her from continuing the motion. Start remoting, and the moment you see her turn, that's when I go yes, right? And then starts to move backwards. Okay. We're at 40 right now.
Yes.
Let's go 48. Oh, there's a squirrel. There's a fat one too. That's squirrel.
Go ahead.
I think that squirrel saw us. Good. Try any direction you want. Yep. Yep. Good. Turn the base, jump back, tap, 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 tap. Keep back, keep back, keep back, keep back. Yep, keep going, keep going. Tap, 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 back, back. Keep going. No, no. All right. Never want to drop your leash.
Oh, okay. I know it's just whining because of the leashes.
Yeah.
Ah.
So right there, you drop the leash.
Yeah.
If she decided to take off, that would have been bad. Okay. So this happens all the time.
Yeah.
When people see the dog get tangled up, they go under stress. People either give up the leash, or they'll panic. Okay. And the reason why I said keep pulling, back, tap, 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 is because they're trying to make this as realistically applicable as possible, right? And there's going to be other things involved, whether it's squirrel, chasing the dog, running towards the street, running away from the firework. There's going to be other things involved, and that's kind of like a distraction, right? She's like, oh, what's this? Like there's something in my legs, and I go, yep, but you need to return. Okay, because as soon as she would have started moving towards you, everything would go away. Because the leash is no longer tangling. The reason why she's tangled is because she's going like this. Okay? So I keep that leash in my hand and I keep pulling and I keep tapping. I keep moving back and I force that return. Okay? And she might be yipping or crying or something. You want to force that return because in case of an emergency, you've technically already done it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so for her, it's going to be a lot easier because if she goes under stress, she's going to be like, well, I've done this before. Much easier for her. For you, you want to think that in the future that leash is not going to be there, right? So right now you have that leash to force the return, so that we're not worried about in the future should something spook her and she runs off. Then are you going to be able to get her back? Okay. Okay. Try it again. Right. Get that chunky squirrel over here. Just settle her. Good. Now, any direction you want. Good. Right, now backwards, tap, 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 keep going. Keep that leash in your hand. Yep, there she goes, good. Now hold. Right, tap. Good. Okay, keep the leash in your hand. We're gonna try a couple more movements. Got a good grip?
Yep.
Tap, yep, there she goes, good. Tap. Now here, she's too far. Turn to face her. Take one step back, tap. Tap. Yep, keep moving back. Tap, 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 tap. Keep it going. Yep, keep moving. Yep, keep going. Keep going. Tap, tap, tap. There she goes. Good. Now hold right there. Good. And praise. And a girl.
Yes, there you go. You figured it out, Winnie.
We're gonna try one more movement. Go ahead and grab your leash. Good. And then to your right. That's fine. Good. Doing praise. And a girl. Good. We're gonna try one more. Girl.
My parents saw her this. They're like, dog.
Oh yeah.
Girl.
Well, this one went a long way.
Winnie, come.
Good. And a girl. Good move. Good. Go ahead in any direction. Yep. Yep. Good. Try your left. Good. And praise.
Yes, you're so smart.
All right.
You're so good.
So go ahead and reel in your leash here so that you grab the end of the long leash. Good. And then you're gonna take the end of that handle and put it around your right thumb. Yeah, with your remote. And you can let the rest go. Yep. And then you're gonna step over your leash. So you're gonna say heel. You're gonna step and you're gonna walk over the leash. The reason why we're doing the right thumb is if the leash is on your right side and going behind you, it makes a really big U. If you put the leash in the left hand, all the leash is gonna be in the middle right there, so it's gonna tangle her up. Okay, so you're gonna say heel. I'm gonna have you start walking. Everything stays the same, except now she's gonna be on the long leash.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Winnie, heel.
And drape it so that it's on your around your right side. So you're gonna, there you go. Yep, that's good. Like that, perfect. Tap, 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 forward tap. Let's speed up a bit. Tap, tap, tap. There she goes, good girl. Now do a left turn when you're ready. Right, good. Go ahead and pick up the pace a little. Good, get ready for a pivot. Good turn. Yep, tap, 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 tap. Keep forward, tap. Good, there she is. Go and slow down. Keep moving. And you're going to do 2 left turns back to back. Yep. Yep, another one. Right, good. Now pick up the pace. Good. When it's supposed to take a right turn. That's good. Tap forward, tap, tap. Good girl.
Good girl, Win. Good girl.
Slow down, get ready for a stop. Good, good praise.
Yay! You're so pretty. Smart.
So what I'm looking for here is, this is the importance of the tightness. Okay? So right shoulder to left leg, and ideally no farther than 6 inches away from me. Okay? The more off they are to the left, the more likely they are to lose you or veer off. Okay? So we want that nice closeness. Everything stays the same. Your pivots stay the same. Your crossover turns stay the same. Your stops stay the same. It's just now she has her leash, up to no leash. Okay. So what we're gonna try here is you're just you're gonna walk with Winnie, heel, left leg, all that stuff. But as you're walking with her, I'm gonna have you kind of speed up a bit, and you're gonna randomly turn off to your right, like this.
Okay.
Okay. So it's kind of like doing a soft left turn. Go this way. But instead, you're going to be right. Okay. The reason why we do this is because Winnie's peripheral range, right? If you just turn like that, you leave her sight.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna start paying attention exactly. So if I turn off like this and she doesn't turn with you, you're gonna start remoting to close that gap. So we're forcing a mistake here. Okay.
Gotcha.
And we're forcing that mistake again to improve the obedience, to make it as reliable as possible. Okay. So it's technically an unfair move, because there's not going to be a slowdown. It's going to be I'm walking, and then I just turn like that, so there's no heads up, because I want to make sure that I can force that space, so I can use the remote to close her in. Okay? So whenever you're ready, and I'll instruct you in the first couple, and then from there I'll let you do it on your own. Okay?
Okay.
Heel.
Winnie, heel.
Good. And whenever you're ready, veer to your right. Yep. Tap, tap, tap. Good girl. Try a left turn. Yep. Cut in, bump, bump, up turn, tap. Good move. Yep. Good fix. Good fix. Tap forward, tap forward. Keep moving. You got it. Good. Try another left turn. Good turn. Good. Try going into a pivot. Good pivot. Tap forward, good. And turn to your right when you're ready. Tap, tap, good. Try left turn. Right, bump in, good. Tap forward, good. Let's speed up. Tap forward, tap, tap, tap. Uh-oh. One pivot. Okay, so I'm gonna reel in your leash here. Good. Go ahead and wrap it around that right thumb there, so you can have a nice and secure leash. There we go. Yeah, that's good. You want to try that again? And then this time I'm going to have you, so that's pretty simple, right? You're just walking with Winnie. And like I would take advantage, like if she was looking over here at the tennis court, that's when I would turn, right? Really catching her off guard. And then your stops and your slowing down and your left turn, your pivots, you can put those in as well. Okay?
Heel.
Good. Yep, good. Tap, tap, tap. Yep, go back down. There you go. And girl, good. Right. Good turn. Good turn. Good. Good. Yeah, girl. All good turn. Tap. 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 Yeah, good girl. Good. Yep, good. Good turn. Good turn. Good. Yep, good. Forward, tap, yep, tap, good. Good turn. Just a little more. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Good girl. Good. Now turn towards me. And yep, go forward. Go forward. Slowly stop. Good. All right. So what I do with this exercise is like let's say you go to the park and then you're practicing your recall and like play with the dog or squirrel, do the recall, wait a moment to see if she's going to stick, and then like let's say the squirrel in the tree, hop on the heel, walk towards the tree. Right? So I like earlier I think you said let's look for squirrels and heel and you're like walking towards the squirrels with here, something like that. But then you're walking, let's say she's walking towards the squirrel, this happened with another client. She did exactly that, and then he just took off, right? So then she turned, started remoting, and she had to go, in that setting, she went to 100.
Whoa.
Yeah, because he wasn't listening. He wasn't listening to anything lower. So once she hit 100, he ran back, and if he tried again, then he would leave her side for the rest of the class.
Wow.
Because of the correction.
Yeah.
But that's like what we're wanting, because if you cue the command, there is no exception of leaving that command. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I go heel and I start walking towards like a rabbit or a squirrel or a group of dogs, whatever, she's supposed to stay on that hip.
Yeah.
Most people excuse it. They go, oh, but the dog ran to go play with its friends. I'm like, yeah, but then the dog will run away for anything else.
Yeah.
You know, like you can. They're not logical.
Turn it off.
Yeah, they're not logical. Like, the human excuses it because they're like, oh, they just went to go play with their friends.
Yeah.
And I go, right, the next time it could be they take off to go run towards the street.
Yeah.
They don't see the difference in that, right, like we do.
Ah.
So you have to correct any little bit of disobedience to create as full proof of a command as possible. Okay?
Got it.
So like even like if you're walking with Winnie and she saw your husband coming, most people, the dog goes, hey, gets excited, starts jumping, right? And they let it go because like it's dead. But it's a break from obedience.
Oh, so
You gotta
that
correct
doesn't
that.
fly.
It does not fly. Because then she can break away to greet dad, she can break away to chase the dog, she can break away to chase the squirrel, she can break away to run towards the street. Okay? So you gotta think of it that way. Questions about any of this stuff here?
No, makes sense.
Okay, so now when you practice that side step exercise, I throw it in randomly. You do want to practice it, right? But like, I wouldn't go to the park and every time I call her do it like that.
Oh, okay.
Because then it's going to make her super paranoid. She's not going to leave your side.
Yeah.
Okay. Now she should be moving towards you within a split second. So she has a delay. when you would move away, it really wasn't until like a second to two in until you started tapping that she started moving. And it really should be the moment you move, she should already be moving with you, okay? So if you give Winnie a 2-second window, she's gonna develop a 2-second delay, okay? So the moment you move, if you don't see her doing anything, I'm already tapping because I want her to think, as soon as I see you move, I need to be paying attention and follow you, okay? Otherwise, that 2-second delay will work against you. So every now and then when you do a recall, I just add that in and I wait a moment. Okay, go ahead, right? And on a couple of them, she got confused and she ran away.
Yes.
Again, another reason why we do this exercise is so that we can proof the recall command. So once she's fully off leash, I'm not worried about is she going to misinterpret this. Okay, even if you're maxed out. So like Melissa's had to with Nash, she's had to max it out, like getting a return in case of emergency. So I think she like saw the dog in the park or something, right? So that's what we're thinking about. So all the stuff that you're doing here, whether she gets hanging up on the leash, she gets confused, she's panicking, she's running away for whatever reason, she's tired with the exercise, I keep going up until I make the return because the recall is the most important command that you can teach Winnie. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's really just the recall stuff. The other stuff, it's important, but you don't have to worry about jacking it up to 127 to get her to like sit the butt down. Okay? But definitely for the recall, it's going to be very important that she respects it and knows it very well. Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions about that?
No, makes sense.
So when you worked with Winnie this week, how are you able to practice with her?
I'd go with my husband or my mom and do like what we do.
Okay.
Or, you know, I think my husband said that he would try it at the dog park. If she's playing, she would like zap her and she would come.
Okay.
It's like one dog or something.
Sure. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Then like yeah, that's fine.
Luna, I think it was like.
Sure. Yeah.
Luna.
So that's great because you're starting to blend it into a realistic environment, right? And then so like you start with a dog, then a couple of dogs, then 4 dogs. Don't just go from 1 dog to 10 dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's going to be too much going on. Okay.
Sure.
Now, recall, of course, takes the longest to teach to build to full reliability. One of the cons to e-collar recall is that, like, let's say you call Winnie, and there's a person with his Trias, and Winnie's past the person. If you call her, she will run to that person, even though you're here. Okay? Because she's thinking, the faster I get to somebody, the faster this is going to go away. So they go to the nearest body. Okay?
Right.
So if that happens to you, you call Winnie, she goes to that person. Technically, she thinks she completed the task. She went this way. Okay?
Yeah.
She just didn't go to the right person. So for me, that's like one of the exceptions to repeating is I'll call again and remote and back because now I have to just reinitiate because she's thinking she's done. Okay? Now, if you try to force the return without the word or just with the remote or even with the word sometimes, and you tap her, if she's scooting in and bucking back, she's thinking that she's doing the right thing and she's going to get frustrated and she's going to try to jump on them and like climb them. Okay, because she's thinking, how close to you do I need to get in order for this to go away? Okay, so that's where going back to the long dish is important.
Okay.
So like when you said you practice with your husband and your mom, that's good because you're practicing calling her away from people.
Yes.
Okay, so if she runs to somebody that's the wrong person, and I would call her again, it makes that easier for her. Okay, because you're calling her off of her body. So same thing when you practice with your mom or your husband, you're calling her off of her body. And I might try calling Winnie and putting either one of them in the middle to see does she run to the wrong person.
Yeah.
But have that leash handy, okay? Have that leash handy so that again you can force the return and she learns that, oh, okay, I'm supposed to go to the voice, not the nearest person.
Gotcha.
Okay, and that's why that moving backwards is so important. Because if you're at, especially if you're at Trevis and there's like 6 other dogs, like 8 other dog owners, and you call her, she's got 9 people to choose from.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So when you go, Winnie, come, or over here, or whatever, and you're moving backwards, you're differentiating yourself from the group, so it makes it easier. It makes you an easier target for her to return to.
So she knows who it is.
Yeah. The other thing that can be done, like let's say you end up calling her and she's like off the leash or something, is what I call the bowling ball. Is if like let's say you tried this with your husband or your mom and she ran to the wrong person, they would grab her flat collar and they would literally start running with her and pulling her towards you.
Oh,
Okay, and you will literally feel when the dog realizes what to do, is they'll start to run ahead and I just let the leash go or the collar go. Because if you try to grab them and throw them, they tend to like resist. So I'll run with them, and the moment I feel, as I'm pulling, you'll feel them just kind of move with it. The moment I feel them move with it, I just, throw them like a bowling ball, and then I stop moving. Okay? I stop moving to remove myself from that picture, and you might find they might have to bring her all the way here before she goes. Okay? Because she's thinking she's supposed to go to that particular person. That's fine. It happens in the beginning, and I just keep repeating that until eventually, if needed, eventually she's like, oh, okay, like I know what to do now. Just go to this person, the voice that I hear, not the person I think that's closest.
Yeah.
Okay. Question so far.
Makes sense. Work on those. Love it.
So if you don't have other dogs or squirrels to work with, what you can do is with your mom or your husband, they take Luna, kind of like what I was doing earlier, is
Winnie.
You're gonna take Luna, right?
Try to play with her a little bit. Or...
Yeah, and they'll walk away or play with them. But as she's walking away with them, you would do a recall.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll do it right now so I can show you. So like I would take Winnie, and I'm gonna start walking, right? And then you can walk too, just so it gives us a little bit more distance.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, you'll stop moving, and then you'll call Winnie as I'm walking with her. And ideally, we want her to turn or return before any tension kicks in the long leash.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're trying to make it so that she doesn't need the long leash. We're trying to recreate a realistic environment. Because typically when people call their dogs, it's the dog's chasing something, running away, or running towards something they shouldn't. Okay? So we're recreating that away motion, but we're doing it with walking, because that's going to be the easiest. Okay? So I'm going to go into Winnie. Come here. Too many dog names. Come here, you. Hey. Go ahead. It'll be fun this time. All right, and I'm not going to say heel, so that your husband or your mom would not say heel.
Okay.
They would just take Winnie and start to walk away. So I'm going to have you follow me for a little bit.
Sure.
Because if you always do it like 15 feet away, she's going to learn that. So this way, if you follow them, you're able to change up the distance or the number of steps it is before you actually have to move. Okay? Tap back, tap back.
Winnie, come.
Tap. There you go. Good. Great. Yeah. Now, and don't forget your steps back, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try to get.
Go on. Winnie, come.
Right? Good. Good. One more time. Yeah. Do you like this exercise? How's your ball drive?
Like ball? Yeah. Winnie, come.
Good.
Good girl.
Why don't you try a couple more?
Winnie, come.
That was a good one. Right, to move. Again.
Yes, good girl.
I haven't even selfied that one.
Good girl.
You're a disciplined pup. Me and Jessica just put out that chalk color and she's like, ah! She's like,
No
"That's
more
so
games.
good."
Hop on a collar.
Go ahead, Winnie.
Yep, good move.
Smart girl.
Good.
Heel.
Tap forward. Yeah, there you go. Good move. Tap, 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 tap. Keep forward, keep forward. Keep moving, tap. Keep tapping. Keep moving. Yep. There she goes. Good. Good. Yeah, tap and speed her up. Good. Good. Oh, scroll right there. To your left. Turn to your right or pivot. So just the scroll's right there. Yeah, keep forward. Tap, tap. Keep forward. Keep forward. Tap. Keep forward. Keep going. There she goes. Tap. Keep going. There she goes. Good girl. Had a girl. Good. It's right. I think it's like running all the way over there now. Go ahead and bring her back. Music. Very good. Good. Tap forward, tap forward. And slow to it. There you go. Add a girl. Good.
Yay! Good girl.
Very good.
Not in the shed.
Pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's blending these things together.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so if you're going to go to the park to like do some free fall stuff, and don't beach on, practice some heel. Okay. Some of my clients are going to go to lakefront. Now there's like all that open grass area that you can put together and stuff. Like sometimes they'll go over there like this, and just walk the dog, walk the dogs on the loose there.
Ah.
You know, but you're doing a tight heel as opposed to a loose heel.
Sure.
But that's like a nice place to like practice, like do an actual walk. But have her in heel, but with a leash, you know,
Yeah.
as opposed to just doing a bunch of random things.
Right.
It's not realistic. Right? Like you're not going to do it. You'd be like point A to point B. So like if you ever went hiking with her or anything like that, you have that ability. Okay.
Sure.
So when it comes to practicing this week, same stuff like you did last week. Now you're just adding in that extra step of moving. No side steps.
Oh, right.
Remember, any direction but forward, okay? Don't move forward, because then she might default heel. So anywhere backward, anywhere to the immediate right or left is okay. Throwing in a random heel just to kind of differentiate things a little bit. You can recreate a more realistic context by having them, take Winnie and walk walk away with her. If she's doing really well with that, and like turning on a dime, then you can make it more complicated by they'll take Winnie and they'll run with her.
Ah.
Okay. The next one after that is Winnie's playing.
Yeah.
She likes to play tug. The rough housing with her and stuff like that, just kind of running back and forth, a little bit more scattered, non-structured would be like the next step after that.
Gotcha.
Because again, you want to think that Winnie's going to be doing something,
right?
And you're going to call her, so you kind of, if you can, recreate it if you don't have an environment that you're going to practice.
Yeah.
Okay? Any questions?
No. She's a good girl.
Yeah, well, she's doing good. That's it. Use your environment as best you can. Like you saw the world earlier.
Yeah.
Right away, that stuff. And then she'll